Nobody here yet, so I'll take 2 minutes to wait for you to arrive. But let me firstly say thank you so much for supporting me in the death of my darling Kiki. Very traumatic to lose a little creature like that was just so phenomenal. Anyway, she was with me here on YouTube since 2009. And she lived to be 17, so that's good news. Anyway, I am coming on live very specifically because this week is an extraordinary week. We have this week such fabulous, interesting and transformative astrology. It is literally full on. Hello if you've arrived. I can't see your names because, oh yes I can maybe, Lenny and Deek and Sonia and Belinda. Hello darlings. So yeah, this live is specifically because this week is such a game changer. I don't know about you, but the past couple of weeks with the 3 water trines, with all the retrograde energy, has been a lot. As I wrote in my newsletter, we have been stirring the bog of the past with our magic wands, and some of it has been treasure, and other of it has been absolutely gut-wrenching, painful, intense, and dark. So I don't know about you, have any of you experienced that? Because I found it very full on. Anyway, I am here doing this very unusual live because this week kicks off with the Sun sextile Pluto, and that is just the start of the energy that is amazing. And it's by the end of this week, I'll fill you in now, we're going to feel as if we've come out of that tunnel. We're starting again in some way. We're pushing forward, renewed. And the Sun sextile Pluto is giving us initially, as we start the week, giving us initially this feeling of like, yes, I can be strong. I can defend myself. I can stand up for what I believe in. I can nurture myself, and I can see the bigger picture. So from being immersed in that Scorpio gloom and all the shadows we were fighting from our past, now we're like, oh, we're popping up from that, because don't forget also it's Sagittarius season. So there's a sense of optimism and wonder going on. So we're walking into it going, actually, I feel strong. I feel much more optimistic. I feel more in my power. And this is excellent news. So then we have Mercury conjunct Venus. Now there may be still, because Mercury is still at this point retrograde, conversations about the past to do with love and how we value ourselves. How do you value yourself? Have you had any ex-lovers pop up? Or have you been reflecting on your patterns when it comes to abundance, when it comes to self-love, or when it comes to feeling loved? All very interesting. But again, this week is going to liberate us. This week is going to take us forward. And this week is going to show us a different kind of magic. I'm going to answer your comments in 1 second. I'm just going to quickly fill you in on the week, and then I'll have a look at your comments. Then we have Venus, trine Saturn. So we're going to this point where we know what we want. And I promise you, all this week, by the end of this week, there is this feeling that our soul sat-nav is guiding us towards what we know, not intellectually, not even emotionally, but on a deep soul level, we know what direction that we're going in, and it will be revealed. And I urge you not to ignore it. You have been through, well, like the end of the hero's journey. Well, you know, part 1, a cycle of the hero's journey. Well, we have done all the battling. We have struggled. We have faced the shadows. And now we're like, okay, I deserve this. I know where I'm going. And as I say, it will be a deep knowing. Do like and share, by the way. It's just helpful to get more people on board, and then I will do more lives. It's handy to me. Then, can you believe this? There is another grand water trine. Now, no doubt, and please leave a comment below, you have experienced a lot of emotion, particularly last week, and maybe emotion that you thought you had dealt with, you had come to terms with, but now there is this whole rising up of feelings, but this is the week that we deal with them. So this grand water trine, which is Venus in Scorpio, trine Saturn in Pisces, trine Jupiter in Cancer, trine, I can't even read my writing, trine Venus in Scorpio. Anyway, it's much more grounded. It gives us clarity of emotion. It makes us know what we feel. Like last week, I bet you didn't even know what you felt. It was here, there, and everywhere. It was like maybe like pain, grief, experiencing everything on a primal level. This week is less primal because it's Sagittarius season and this ground water trine. It's like, oh, it throws us back on the shore of what is. It doesn't kind of, drag us under and we're fighting to get to the top. It's delivering us on the shore of our soul and the answers that we need. Then, of course, the excellent news, we have Mercury going direct, which I don't know about you, I think they're getting harder, these Mercury retrogrades, but this one was very hard, maybe because Saturn was retrograde as well. And so there's this sense of all these responsibilities, all this stuff that we have to really face head on emotionally, and there are no shortcuts. And again, it's been very, very primal. And finally, we have Venus trine Neptune and Venus entering Sagittarius. So, but just before that, or I think it's on the same day actually, we have Venus opposing Uranus. Something surprising is occurring that again clarifies what love means to you, and you will see the answers and the truth of your intimate relationships, and it's going to be ultimately excellent. Probably quite instantly you're going to get this like like that, this upliftment of energy, because you can let go and move forward. On a global level, we are all experiencing this kind of transformation and change and strangeness. I mean, there's been some strange things going on, people being nice to each other that allegedly hated each other, and then there's this kind of feeling of love in the air. Very odd, but not really, because everything is changing, everything is healing, everything is transforming. And you might have noticed what we think we know and what we think other people know, no longer the case. Everything's all shifting, everything's all up in the air. And that's why it's really important that we hold the energy. We are the manifestors. We are born for a reason at this time to help make things happen and help translate and transform everything. I'll just have, what's this about? Earthquakes. I don't know about some earthquakes happening now. I don't know about that. Yes, Lenny, I'm so sorry to hear that you've gone through some losses. It has been very intense. And I have to say this, what's interesting is, I talk to a lot of people who are grieving, and I haven't, I understand a lot about grief. And I've really, at this time, really cling on to the truth. Well, not cling on, accept the truth that all time exists at the same time. So every moment you've ever had is actually here now. We just can't see it. And the future and other dimensions. And actually, if you are still long enough, or you sit silently enough, you can feel that. And if you really think about a memory, it's almost as if you are there. We are multi-dimensional beings that live in a time where time doesn't exist, but we are brought up to think that this is the only moment. When ultimately, all of our moments are eternal. So if you are going through any pain or grief, that is the way I see it, and it's been extremely helpful for me. Right, what else? Yes, it has been very topsy-turvy, Tracy, and I'm glad you're seeing the light. Has anyone got any questions? Because I literally just wanted to dip in and talk about this week. Because, I don't know about you, but I was just like, oh, thank goodness there is this huge shift of energy. I have to say, next year, get your rest now, darlings. Get your rest now. Because next year, it's crazy. I mean, I think I might come on a live and talk about that, and I'll also do a video about that. And of course, I've got your yearlies to do. So much to do at the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, there is no stillness for us. It's simple as that. We have to learn to be ninjas with the energy, to keep ahead of the game, and keep the love for ourselves and each other very present. We are beyond a roller coaster. We're like in a 25th century roller coaster that we can't even imagine. The energy is just spinning in all different directions. But you're here for a reason, You've got a warrior spirit. That's why you're here now. So keep that love open. Don't give up the love. Yeah, next year. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes. A lot of Aries energy. So it's all about you awakening your warrior, but a positive warrior. And, Desmond, if you've got a Scorpio moon, you are through the worst of it. Now, Scorpios are feeling much more settled in themselves, much more grounded, much more abundant, and much more able to go forward. Somebody's saying, if you've got Mercury retrograde in your chart, it means you're very familiar, like you live every day knowing about Mercury retrograde. So it gives you superpowers. And hopefully, you tell me below, if you're born with Mercury retrograde, which many of you were actually, check your chart, then it means that you can use that energy in a very positive way. It doesn't mean that some of the things are going to not impact you, but it means there is extra good fortune in that. Connie, there's no such thing as that. It's a con. If you Google it, you'll find out. It's just, she's talking about the spider sign that was the 13th in the zodiac. Don't worry about it, because a lot of people that write about astrology and try and debunk it don't even understand how astrology works. They're talking about, the fact that the actual constellations have moved over time. Well, astrologers knew that from the get-go. So it's a load of crap. Aries, 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 you're going to feel, you must already be feeling better. I'm trying to. And what else? Interesting. I am a fire horse. Next year is the sign of the horse, which is very good. It's very rebellious. It's very freedom loving. Nobody is going to be able to control their free spirit. But apparently it can be quite challenging for horses themselves. I hope not, darlings. Send me the good vibes. So, any other quick questions before I go? Just remember, this is it, baby. And the key to this, what is the point of astrology? Astrology is there for us to pull down and take advantage of it. And this coming week's astrology is about, okay, you've passed the test, you've gone through hell. You're crawling towards the light and the love of yourself. And it's saying, this is it. Honor what you need. Honor your boundaries. Honor your freedom. And be true to yourself, but with grace and with gentleness. And if you can do that, I think you'll see great rewards in the next couple of weeks. Anyway, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much again for being there for me when my doggy died. She was the original astrology dog, and her little spirit is wagging its tail next to me. And, anyway, she'll always be with us. Take care, gorgeous. And I'll speak to you soon. How do I get out there?